about, innovation all the time, right? It has been talked about forever. But what has changed in innovation is companies will invest more in innovations closer to where consumers are. Okay, so it's no longer gonna be, someone in the US created something and try to sell that to billions of people in China. That may be things in the past, right? But what we have seen more and more is international companies are investing in research and development in the part of the world where majority of their consumers are, which is Asia, which is ASEAN, right? So for us, in Thailand or in China, Taiwan in the past, we may be the one who manufactures things, right? Someone invented it, created it in the US, they find it cheaper to do it in Thailand, cheaper to do it in China, they get it done here. But, the idea came from somewhere else. But that is gonna change because this is where the majority of the consumers, this is where the money is. So those companies will make a lot more investment in R&D in this part of the world. So you will go out and you will see more and more of job opportunities regarding research and development. And another thing is, people may say, oh, working in R&D is not going to be fun, right? I want to do marketing. I want to do sales, right? R&D is nerd stuff, right? You live in a lab, you don't go out, you don't go party. But if you think again, right? Who are the richest people in the world? You look at Mark Zuckerberg, you look at, even Steve Jobs, you look at Bill Gates. Those are the people who invented stuff, right? They're not marketing people, they're not salespeople. Those guys are very good programmers. They created the stuff. They are the one who did the R&D, and those are the one who actually becomes successful. So, you got to think about this, right? R&D in the past, people may look at it as, as I said, not sexy, boring stuff, professor jobs, but that is changing. And, as I said, companies are investing in R&D closer to where the consumers are, and that's where we are. So, you're going to see more of, job opportunities like that, okay? Capital flows and resources sustainability. I think it's a similar story where there's a growth, a very large growth in this part of the world. You're going to see a lot of investment coming in and also local investment going out. As I mentioned, a large company like PTT, SCG has gone regionally or globally already. They make investment in a lot of places outside of Thailand, and that is also a very good opportunity. One piece of advice that I can tell you is, if you have an opportunity to go work outside of Thailand, do it. We did a survey for what we call high performance company, right? And one criteria that those companies promote people over others is international experience. So if you have two executives with exact same qualifications, and you have to decide on one to promote, one person with international experience win over that promotion. And that is the fact. We did a survey on that, and that's what we found out. So, if you have that opportunity, spend a year or so, somewhere with international work experience, just take it. Right, I have a lot of slides talking about all those few things that we have, but I don't think we have the time to cover all, so I would just highlight the key, a few key things that may be interesting. I think we talked about quite a bit about the booming of consumers. Another thing is the booming in mega cities. You know, the world today, I don't know if you know how many cities have more than 10 million people. Not that many. I think Bangkok officially is not, but you know, in reality, we have a lot more than 10 million people in Bangkok. But it's not that many people, you know, I mean, it's not that many cities in the world as big. But, you know, we're going to see more and more and more of, you know, bigger cities happening, you know, coming up in the world. And also in Thailand, Bangkok has been the center of everything for so long. And that's gonna change, not as much. I'm not saying that, you know, there's gonna be, you know, Chiang Mai is gonna be bigger than Bangkok, no, right? But we're gonna see more investment from companies locally, internationally. Those investments go outside of Bangkok, right? I have a friend who owns IT company listed in Thai stock market, very large, you know, Thai IT company. He just opened up a branch up in Chiang Rai, you know, in Mae Fah Luang University, and make that a development center. You know, just like Accenture, we have development center in India. You know, this local company has development center in Chiang Rai. And, you know, he actually recruits people from northern part, Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai University. And, you know, he basically did the design of the program here with a client in Bangkok. He gets it done. He has his program and unit tested out of Chiang Rai, you know, and send it back. So we're going to see more and more of that, right? You're going to see, you know, more job opportunities outside of Bangkok. If you apply for a job, you know, you maybe, you know, go up to work in Rayong, for instance, Chiang Mai, Phuket, you know, those cities. You're going to see more big cities coming up. Okay, aging workforce. You may know people are getting old, and we need a lot more, you know, new energy like you guys. There's nothing much to highlight here. I think we pretty much cover a lot of these. Another thing that I want to show you is I just made a quick note a few minutes before I came up on the stage. You know, some of the key expectations that companies like Accenture or a lot of international companies are looking for. You know, of course, first of all, we look at your academic achievement. You know, we don't know you, so the first thing we will get to learn about you is your transcript. I mean, that is something that you know, we can't avoid, right? So that's the first thing companies like Accenture or a lot of other, you know, local or international companies are looking at. Common sense, right? But what I want to highlight is that's not the only thing, of course, and the importance or the weight of that may be less and less. And we are looking for, you know, things like teamwork and interpersonal skills more and more. You know, as I said, we are going into a multipolar world. You're going to be working with international team, international culture. So we're not talking about teamwork among, you know, us talk. People may ask you a little bit about your academic background, but then, you know, be prepared to talk about, you know, how you work as a team, you know, what to do in a team, and, you know, what are the, you know, your experiences, negative and positive, working with the team, how you get things done as a team. You know, those are very important, okay? Problem solving, of course, I think it's pretty basic stuff, but, you know, this is something that I want to say, this is something that is the strength of our engineering school. Okay, people ask me, I'm actually graduated from IE, but I'm doing all, you know, the IT work since I started with Accenture, I did IT architecture, design. I did all the technology architecture, so on and so forth. That is something I learned on the job. So people ask me, so what you got and what you can use from your engineering school background, and I said, problem solving, right? That's the thing that you may not be aware of it yet, but that is something that has, the faculty has built into you for the last 4 years that you spent here. We have the best problem skill, among, everyone. We are the best in doing this. So, but the key thing is you need to be able to articulate it, right? If you are asked how you solve the problem, you must be able to explain in a logical manner, step by step, how you tackle, each of the problem that you face. Okay. Verbal, written business communication, and business acumen. This is very important, and this is something that I've seen a lot of us, to be honest, are missing. Right. We may be very good at, technical skill. I used to be a very good programmer, but the thing is, people will love you more if you know how that program of yours can generate more revenue or save cost or make certain things done faster, right? So it's not all about how you write, how well you write the program, how fast you can write a program, but it's more about, do you know what that program does to the business? Because when you go out and work for the company, at the end of the day, the management, the executive who decide your future in that company, the only thing that they care about is the money. Unless you go out and work for, nonprofit organization or government, that's a different story. Okay, I'm talking about a for-profit organization. At the end of the day, whatever you do, you need to try to understand what that thing does to the business, right? You are asked to write a program, fine, you write a program. But you need to know what that program is going to help that company, improve the revenue, improve customer satisfaction, or even save certain costs, or get certain process done faster. This is something that I refer to as business acumen. This is something that people will be expecting out of you, right? Not only the technical skill, but also the business side, the business acumen. Okay. I think I'm probably almost used up my time. I guess I actually have I have a lot more to tell, but I'm going to be around. So if any of you have any questions or any comments, you can feel free to come up. We can talk about it. And I guess I got to thank you very much for the faculty that have me here today. Hopefully, there's a few minutes that I spent with you guys help at least open up a bit of different perspective to the world that you're going to be facing. And congratulations and good luck to everyone. And thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nontawat Phumchusri. I think we do have time for a few questions. One from the front, one from the back, please. Come on. Okay. What you have in mind if you have to prepare yourself to go for interview and apply for jobs? So he's our senior, so.
I also did the interview myself, so
yes.
You can give me your names or.
So any of you in this room have already made decision that you definitely go for work first before continue your study? Raise your hand, please. Come on, high up. Oh, okay. 10 of you only? And anyone would like to work for Accenture Thailand? Okay. You like to do
At least
a
there's one in
live
the back.
interview today? Okay. Cup. You in particular have any question, Cup? It's a good opportunity. He's here.
Don't ask me what the interview questions are. I can't tell you that. Yes? Okay, the question is about, do we require work experience, and if so, how much, right? I think it depends on the position that you are targeting at, right? To me, if I'm looking for a good, software engineer, software developers, fresh graduate is the best, people to do so. You have ideas, you have innovations. So we don't look for work experience for those kind of positions. But if you're talking about management consulting, people who will actually go and help the client and advise them how they should change the processes and how they should change their organization structure, of course that requires a lot of experience, at least 5 years. But when I started my career with Accenture with no work experience, I started as a programmer. Right? I love doing a programmer, and as I said, I think best programmers are people that just fresh graduate from school. So depending on the position, if you start from a system analyst or solution developers, we don't require experience. But if you want to be a management consulting, you have to spend time in the industry for at least 3 to 5 years before you can really,
Okay, so in that case, he's extend our gratitude to our speaker today, and may I invite our director, Mr. Thasana Thakannop, to present token of appreciation to our speaker, please. So we now come to the final session of today's event. May I invite our director again to give the closing remarks for today's event. And thank you everyone for being with us.
Distinguished guest speaker, ICE staff, professor, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. This final information session is important to the seniors for 2 reasons. First, the information gives you a basis for deciding your career path. If you decide to work in the industry, right after graduation, it is essential to be aware of the global trends of engineering career, along with the expected roles of engineers. My message for you is to put your heart, your knowledge, and your hand to perform the work. I believe you will make a strong positive impact to the engineering world and to the society as a whole. If you decide to continue in graduation program, I wish you gain some ideas how to make a choice of graduate program and school. Second, this information session is important to the senior because this is not the end of your study at ISE. You are reminded to make sure that you fulfill all program requirements and will pass the graduate criteria. I expect to see each of you to graduate in this year and follow the footsteps of our successful alumni. Would like to thank the speaker for giving valuable time to come here and share your insights with IE students. Also, thanks the professor for your kind and constant support to our students. Last but not least, we appreciate the ISE staff for arranging this event. Now, it is the right time to close the final information session. Thank you very much.
Extend our gratitude to our speaker today, and may I invite our director, Mr. Thasana Thakanop, to present token of appreciation to our speaker, please. So we now come to the final session of today's event. May I invite our director again to give the closing remarks for today's event. And thank you everyone for being with us.
Distinguished guest speaker, ISE staff, professor, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. This final information session is important to the seniors for two reasons. First, The information gives you a basis for deciding your career path. If you decide to work in the industry, right after graduation, it is essential to be aware of the global trends of engineering career, along with the expected roles of engineers. My message for you is to put your heart, your knowledge, and your hand to perform the work. I believe you will make a strong positive impact to the engineering world and to the society as a whole. If you decide to continue in graduation program, I wish you gain some ideas how to make a choice of graduate program and school. Second, this information session is important to the senior because this is not the end of your study at ISE. You are reminded to make sure that you fulfill all program requirements and will pass the graduate criteria. I expect to see each of you to graduate in this year and follow the footsteps of our successful alumni. Would like to thank the speaker for giving valuable time to come here and share your insights with IE students. Also, thanks the professor for your kind and constant support to our students. Last but not least, we appreciate the ISE staff for arranging this event. Now, it is the right time to close the final information session. Thank you very much.